speaker today is John Armstrong. He's a supply officer in the Navy, studying financial management, and he's in his first quarter. He's married and has a 3-month-old boy, and he hails from Kingston, New York, and that's the state that's got alligators in its sewers. If you Please welcome John Armstrong to the lecture.
Madam Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, my speech is entitled Bitten by the Golf Bug. I have been bitten by the golf bug. And unlike an insect bite, it was a rather pleasant experience. Millions around the world have been bitten by this mysterious bug. The phrase means simply to like the game of golf. I get a big thrill out of chasing a little ball, such as this, all around and trying to get it into a small hole. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of the game, why I enjoy playing it, some of the benefits, and finally conclude with some advice if you are a player or if you are new to the game. Some of the history of golf that I'm going to be talking about I obtained from About.com by Brent Kelly. Golf as we know it originated in Scotland. The earliest known reference to golf comes from King James II of Scotland, who in 1457 issued a ban on playing golf. It supposedly was keeping his archers from their practice. But did the game begin in Scotland? According to the USGA Museum, while many Scots firmly maintain that golf evolved from a family of stick and ball games widely practiced throughout the British Isles during the Middle Ages, considerable evidence suggests that the game derived from stick and ball games that were played in France, Germany, and the Low Countries. Raymond Floyd, a famous golfer, said that they call it golf because all the other 4-letter words were taken. I will not be repeating any of those other 4-letter words because this is a family meeting. The word golf derives from the Old Scots term golf, G-O-L-V-E, or golf, G-O-F-F, which themselves evolved from the medieval Dutch term kolf, K-O-L-F. Kolf meant club, and the Dutch were playing games, mostly on ice, at least by the 14th century, in which balls were struck by sticks that were curved at the bottom and were moved from point A to B. Sounds a lot like hockey, doesn't it? Except that it sounds a lot like golf too, except for the ice part. Dutch and Scots were trading partners, which might explain how they got the game to Scotland. However, it wasn't until the mid-18th century that the first known written rules of golf were put into writing. Now, why do I like to play the game? I started playing when I was around 12 years old. My dad and grandfather introduced me to the game, and I got to play a lot of rounds with them growing up, and it was a great time to spend together. There was a nice little golf course, only a few minutes drive from my house. I played a lot of golf there growing up, and it was always something I looked forward to. Since joining the military, I've had the chance to play golf year-round in some spots like Hawaii and Florida, something I could not do while growing up in New York with the winters. Kind of hard to swing the club with gloves on. There are many benefits to the game. Exercise is an obvious one. You can take a cart if you like, but walking 18 holes equates to a few miles in total distance. Great scenery is another. Take Pebble Beach, for example. I was just there a few weeks ago to attend the Pro-Am tournament, and it was probably the most picturesque course I've ever seen. Fresh air. Golf gets you outside. Unless you're playing in a course in the middle of a big city like LA, you're probably going to observe some fairly good air quality. Camaraderie is another benefit. You can build some pretty strong relationships during a round of golf. And we can't forget about business that takes place on a golf course. What better place to hold a meeting than on a golf course? Golf is a game you can play your entire life. You can start playing as soon as you can walk, like Tiger Woods when he was 3 years old, and you can continue playing well into your 80s, 90s, as some people do. There are a lot of people, in fact, that take pride in being able to shoot their age. I am 33, so I don't see that happening anytime soon, maybe another 50 years or so. In many sports, such as baseball and football, you have a number of people on each team, and you have an opponent that you face pretty much head-on. In golf, it is a little different. You're playing against other golfers, but it's mainly against yourself. This brings out another unique aspect of the sport, in that while you can bowl a perfect game, for example, or pitch a perfect game, you cannot have a perfect round of golf. There have been many hole-in-ones where somebody has gotten the ball in the hole on the first shot, but never has someone gotten the ball in the hole in the fewest amount of strokes in all 18 holes. There's never been a perfect round. It takes a lot of practice and dedication to get really good at golf. It will reward patience and time invested. Of course, if you're like me and practice some bad golf habits, you're really taxed on that patience part, and it's even harder to erase some of those bad habits once they are ingrained. Another thing that I like about golf is the personal integrity that goes with it. Even though other players saw mistakes made on the golf course, golfers typically will call penalties on themselves even if other players have not seen the mistake made. And the game is unique also in that there are not many drug problems in the sport. For example, Major League Baseball. Is anyone else here getting sick of hearing about Roger Clemens? I know I am. So as far as I know, you don't have some of these problems in golf. Okay, so how about some arguments that people use not to play golf? Mark Twain once said that golf is a good walk spoiled. While I feel that way sometimes, I do keep going back for more because it can be rather addictive. Another valid argument is the time it takes. It can take well over 4 hours to play a round of golf, or 2 if you just play 9 holes. But the way I see it, since the average American watches approximately 4 hours of TV a day, you could substitute that time for playing golf and use it and be better off considering what's on TV these days. Cost is another argument. It can be rather expensive at times. You can rent clubs rather inexpensively, but to buy a good set, you may have to spend upwards of $500 to $1,000. And of course, some courses are very expensive to play. Military courses that I grew up playing are very reasonable, charge around $15 to $20 to play a round. And then at the other extreme, you have courses like Pebble Beach, which cost in excess of $450 to play. Now I know the view there is amazing, but to spend $450 is really tough to do. But hey, supply and demand is an amazing thing. The good news is that there are a lot of courses out there that are very affordable, that are very close. No matter where you live in the U.S., you could probably drive to one within a short matter of time. So let's say you are interested in starting up the game. You decide to get into golf, beware, it can be highly addictive. I speak from experience, but it can be a good addiction with the right treatment. Keep in mind, it is just a game, but at times it can seem like so much more. Do take a lesson from someone who knows a thing or two about the game if you're starting off, preferably a professional. They can guide you in the right path and keep you from developing some really bad habits early on. The game will be a lot more fun if you start improving and can do so over a steady course. But keep in mind, golf can be very frustrating and give you a lot of headache. And I'm not being mendacious when I say this. However, Arnold Palmer, another famous golfer, said he had a tip that can take 5 strokes off your game. It's called an eraser. If you're familiar with the game of golf, hopefully I have brought out something in the history or the benefits that you were not aware of. If you're new to the game, I hope I have encouraged you to perhaps try it. If you are a player, I have not played since I've been here in Monterey, and I am always looking to go out there and play around. So please let me know, because I feel the golf bug's starting to bite again. Thank you.